Well, hello friends. Here I am trying to record the video on change management theories and failing to do so because for some reason I cannot share my screen with you. So I had this beautiful PowerPoint which I cannot use anymore. So what I'm going to do instead is send you a link to the website that I have mentioned that lists some of these change management theories so that you can study them yourself. I think the website does a great job. It mentions the author of a theory, some of the pluses and even some of the minuses of particular theory. Let me do a little introduction to these theories. There are many. A lot of them, to be honest, are quite old. People have developed them in 1940, 1960, 1970, but they are still being used, they are still being studied. And I think that says a lot, to be honest. If something is in circulation for such a long time, it means I think that it works, or at least is worth looking into. So do look into these theories, study them. Maybe you can pick one that you are most interested in. You will also notice that there is a mixture. There are some that have been developed especially with an organization in mind. So they are written for those who are leading organizations and are in a position to initiate change. Some of these theories have been written for those who are going through change. Therefore, they talk about how to respond to change. And there is one theory over there as well that actually is taken from the cycle of grief. It talks about how we often go through the grief process. But even this cycle of going through the grief has been adopted and used in organizational management because it's just so very helpful. And you'll see it for yourself. I am going to do, I promise, another video just before you have to write your homework in September, explaining a little bit more about what we are asking you to do in terms of coming up with your own models of change and transition. For those of you who like diagrams, that would be fantastic if you can produce a diagram if it helps you to explain your story. But for some of us, that's not helpful at all. And maybe we just want to tell a story of how we have introduced change, or how have we responded to change? What have we learned through change? What are the patterns that we have noticed or lessons that we have learned that we can pass on to others? But more about it later. Now, I'm often surprised that even though change is so very relevant to all of us, that hardly any of us have ever really properly studied the nature of change. And yet it's obviously so common. Some people may say, well, but change can happen out of the blue. And when it happens, we don't have time to look up a diagram or open a PowerPoint or read a book. Well, precisely. So do all this before change happens. Because one thing that is guaranteed in our life is that change is continuous. It will continue to happen. We always go through change. And when I think about it, I think about pilots training to work, for example, as the pilots of commercial flights, and how many years they spend going through simulations of situations, through this artificial environment where they are put in a stationary plane, where they experience turbulence or even the circumstances that resemble thunder or nosedive or fire or explosion or even crash itself. And they train like that because when all these potentially happen in real life, that they will not lose their mind, that they will know of certain procedures that they can put in place in order to bring the plane safely into landing. And that really speaks to me, because I think that as a leader, I do have a responsibility not only to take people from A to B, but to take them from A to B in a manner that is safe and good. And none of us wants to crash a church. None of us wants to crash an organization. And I hope none of us wants to crash our own life. And I want to encourage you to study change. Study it in the Bible, study transitions, study some patterns that people have developed through tested circumstances in how to grow through change. So these models, these theories of change, it's just this, somebody telling you, hey, this is the pattern I have developed. This is something that has helped me. And if you follow some of these steps, and let's remember, we are all adults, so we don't have to follow from 1, 2, 3, 4. Often, yes, life requires us to be flexible, but look at these theories, look at these diagrams, and see whether you can see yourself in them. So I encourage you to study these theories. I'm sorry I cannot produce a video at the moment with a PowerPoint with these change management theories, but I think you'll find the website very helpful. And if you need more resources about a particular theory, do email me, and hopefully I can send you or point you to some other resources as well. More about change, and definitely more about transitions coming your way soon. God bless. Bye.